Hey, what's up, fam? It's your boy Darren Brown with Darmac Bills and Brightway Insurance, coming to you early in the airport at New Orleans. And so, had a wonderful time. It was something that I needed. I was had an opportunity to come see my son play baseball in an HBCU tournament. It was great, great people, great atmosphere. Andre Dawson, got to meet him, I would say, also known as the Hawk. So, and I ran into Panama Mutiny, all-time Hall of Fame coach, Coach Alfaro. It's weird, man. All the places, you just can't script it. I mean, we knew we both were here, but we just didn't know that we was gonna see each other. And here I am walking, French Quarters, and you know how big you have been here, and I bump into him and his wife. So this is, it worked, man. It worked. It was great seeing him and him being here, watching, his son play for St. John. But I just want to digress for a bit while I got some time, because I'm here early, which I love to be early. I don't like to be rushing through the airport. And we talked about, let's talk about a little bit of business here for a second. Mostly things, and I'm probably going to come out with a book shortly based on beginner's guides to building, something like that, for people to follow, because I get a lot of questions as far as what they need to know, and some of the things that they say or ask me is correct, but it's out of sequence. And so you got to make sure that if you're going to do something, it's got to be in sequence, so you won't make any mistakes and you won't make any kind of costly mistakes. But for my young developers out there and the developers in general, what I would say to you is learn the terminology of the trade. If you want to be a developer, if you want to be a major investor, you got to know that you got to really truly understand the language. It's numbers, it's ratios, it's return on investment, it's internal rate of return, net operating income, cap rate. All those things got to be like right there to you. You have to have some knowledge about it, because if you go into investors, people who have money, who are investing, they're looking for a return. They're not. We get caught up in. And here's the thing: you get caught up in. You get caught up in thinking that the people who have the money really has the power, but they have the power because that's the way you think. Because you think all the people got the money, they make the moves. Well, most people who have that kind of money is not going to be going around looking for properties. They're not going to be looking for opportunities. They may have they have access to it. In other words, they're saying, bring me something that makes sense, that the numbers make sense, and then we can have a sit down, meet and greet and talk, right? But if you're just going to go to your investor or your developer and just say, hey, I found something that's nice, it looks good, or it's in a good area, that doesn't mean anything. That's just, you wasting your time, you wasting his or her time when it comes on doing that. So I suggest you just, you either Google information, or you go buy you some books. Even on this trip here, I got a book. Let me show you guys. I got several books. This book here. Ooh, how can I do that? All right. Hometown. All right. This is one. I got Peebles' book. This is a good informational tool for you to read. And I have read this book probably, gosh, 5 or 6 times. Because when I read it, I was like, oh, okay. And it refreshed my memory on things, how it go approach. But what I got from that, it's about relationships. If you don't build relationships, and I never met this gentleman, but I admire his story, and I followed him. And like if you're gonna follow somebody in the business, follow somebody who has done it. And Peebles is one of them. Herman Russell is another person that I follow. Their careers, and what I realized is about relationships. If you don't build relationships in this business, you're not gonna survive. Okay, you're just not. All right. Relationships last, and business relationship lasts because it builds up a trust. It builds up a certain familiarity. It just does. And once people understand who you are and what you're about and how you bring in deals to the table that make sense, then you're gonna be in business for a long time. And if you don't, and you just think it's gonna be a one-shot thing and this, that, and the other, then it's incorrect. So getting back to my point when I was saying that the people who have the access to properties and can find or whatever. That's really truly power, because the people with the money want to invest it. They just want, what's the point of holding the money and just having it in your hand and putting it on your mattress or going somewhere and getting 1 or 2%? So they're looking for people who have the knowledge and the acumen to go and find these deals. So I'm truly hoping that you guys learn the business and be part of that circle where you can continue to have generational wealth, build up your legacy, build up a relationship with investors, and start a new career, new business that you're going to love and profit from years to come. All right, it's your boy again, Ace.